Hi everybody, this is William from the Wildwork Initiative, filming today for the first episode of Wildworkers at Home. In our neighbouring property there's a farm. There's cows in it, as you see. These cows have lots of uses. One of them though is what we could call nutrient cycling. They eat grass, digest it, comes out the other end, and then that can be used as a fertilizer, and it is used as a fertilizer in growing foodstuffs, whether it's potatoes or more grass. Over here on our property, we're also nutrient cycling. Here we have two composters, two different setups. This one is a wormery used to collect our food waste. Not looking very pretty, but it's not supposed to. And if you see underneath, bear with me now, that's what our worms are turning the waste into. A rich soil. And down the bottom here there's worm urine, which we can collect, and we put that into our vegetable bed, which we have over here. Where I'm walking is a segment that I've cut out of a field 3 years ago, and we planted lots of young trees. It's a baby alder, crabapple, another alder which is really coming on quite well, rowan. And the way we manage this woodland is we cut the grass so the trees aren't being competed against too much, and the clippings from the grass, again keeping with the nutrient cycling theme, they're either put on a big heap which composts down in a different way, or we use them on the vegetable beds. There's onions and garlic in here that were just sown before winter, and the grass acts as a mulch, so I don't need to use weed killers. It also helps to feed the soil and retain moisture. So there you have it, nutrient cycling where we don't have cows. And we turn what might be considered an issue in the woodland with the long grass into a resource. Out here in the field, what remains of it, her neighbour keeps some cows and they come in here and eat her grass, and the same system keeps going.
Hi everyone, Karen from Wildwork, with Wildworkers at Home. I thought in this video I would continue the theme of nutrient recycling in trees that Will was talking about earlier, and show you what I've been getting up to in my garden. Last autumn I planted some cobnut trees. This is a type of hazel, but it produces slightly bigger nuts. Now this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, to get some fruit and nut trees in the garden. They're great for pollinators and good for us too. With the cobnuts, I planted a native hazel too, partly because I wanted a native hazel tree, and because the native hazel will help with pollination of the cobnuts by ensuring that there's lots of pollen around. I also planted some apple trees for fruit. I got some more commercial varieties, but others are Irish heritage varieties. I love the idea of preserving these older types of apples that are not really grown anymore. This one looks like it's starting to produce some flowers. The advice is to remove the flowers in the first year so that the young tree puts all its energy into roots and leaf growth. So no apples this year, but hopefully it'll be a stronger tree for it. Another tree in the garden that is bursting into leaf is this hawthorn. You can tell it's a hawthorn by the leaf shape, but also because it has leaves before it has flowers. So you might be seeing a tree around at the moment that has lots of white flowers and no leaves. And that's the blackthorn. And that's the one that produces sloes, those gorgeous purple berries that are used to flavour gin. So the garden has lots of fast-growing trees and bushes that need cutting back and trimming. There's a short period of time to do this before the nesting season starts, so I'm often left with a good deal of garden waste. But this is a fantastic resource to turn into compost that can go back onto the garden. I'm trialing a few different composting methods this year. I have the slatted allotment type composter, and this one I just made myself out of chicken wire, just wrapped around a stake. I'm also recycling builder's bags to store the cuttings. I'm finding they're actually working really well, and it's great to be able to reuse something like this. Finally, there is the closed-in composter for kitchen waste. I've also closed in to keep out rodents and crows. And all this goes back onto the garden as compost and also as a mulch for weed suppressant. It sort of acts as both things. I'm very excited that seedlings are starting to finally come up. My kale is poking through, and finally carrots, they seem to take forever. But both the kale and the carrots are great ones to try from seed, very easy to grow. And kale seems to be a favourite among us wild workers. It is delicious. So that's it for this episode of Wild Workers at Home. I hope you enjoyed getting a little insight into what we're doing at home. And you know what, we'd love to hear what you're getting up to at home. Take care of yourself and your families. All the best.